A very warm welcome to the art vlog with me, George Dopamine. Today I'm in the lovely city of Oxford, where I'm going to be taking you inside the Pre-Raphaelites drawing and watercolours show. This show is a paid show. It's £13.50, £15 with a booking fee, and it's on until the 27th of November. The really exciting news, as you might have come to expect when we're at Oxford, is that I am not alone. Yup, PJ Arthur is with me.
Hi there. Oh, it's such a build-up, George. Thank you.
PJ, what are you expecting from this exhibition? Are you a fan of the Pre-Raphaelites?
I am actually slightly obsessed with one of the models in there, Jane Burden, who's quite a character here in Oxford. She was born and brought up in Oxford and ended up marrying William Morris, who is clearly one of the Pre-Raphaelite painters. So I'm particularly interested to see the ones involving her and William Morris.
Is she the person who's on the thing? Is that her?
Yes, that's right.
That's wow. Yeah, you see, I did not know that. I've learned something already. That's great. So come and join us as we take you inside this exhibition, which is in the upper galleries of the Ashmolean Museum. Prepare yourself for an intimate show full of smaller pieces. Obviously, the focus on drawings and watercolours means you won't see Pre-Raphaelite blockbuster oil paintings here, and that's absolutely fine. That's not the point of this show. The first room focuses on the Pre-Raphaelite circle, paintings of the artists or those close to the artists. My two favourites were these two pencil drawings that were exchanged between Charles Alston Collins and Sir John Everett Millais. There's a real personal sense of intimacy of the artists working behind the scenes for friends, not for public consumption in these two works. The second room, of which this painting by George Price Boyce is part, makes the point that while the Pre-Raphaelites were united by a common approach in some ways, they had very contrasting methods and very different levels of training, from formal to almost being self-taught. The third theme section takes you very much onto more familiar ground. It's called Rossetti's Stunners, and it focuses on the models of the Pre-Raphaelite ideal of women such as Jane Burden. And we see here classic Pre-Raphaelite visions of what they considered to be beauty. The room then moves seamlessly into a section from Rossetti's Stunners into the sketches and studies for larger works. One of the highlights of the whole exhibition for me, the one I bought a postcard of, was this head of a woman by Rossetti, which was a study for a much larger work. And this Burne-Jones study for his watercolour Green Summer shows how he was beginning to compose and put the work together. This Rossetti study of Sir Lancelot in preparation for the Pre-Raphaelite frescoes at the Oxford Union is part of a room called Inspirations from History and Literature, which looks at how the Pre-Raphaelites fed off poetry, plays, myths, legends to produce their work. I thoroughly enjoyed the landscape room, Pre-Raphaelite landscapes. There's a remarkable freshness to works such as this by John Millais' brother William, or this study of an ash tree by Albert Moore. The doyen of Pre-Raphaelite landscape painting is, in my opinion, John Inchbold, and this study in March is exquisite. Hopefully you can see the precision and the life breathed into this wonderful study. The final room, the final little bit section, looks at John Ruskin and his influence on the Pre-Raphaelites and displays some of his work. Obviously, he had a difficult relationship with the Pre-Raphaelites, but was a massive influence, and it's definitely fair to say they wouldn't be as known today as they are if it wasn't for him. One of the great things about seeing the Pre-Raphaelites in Oxford is that Oxford is obviously peppered with Pre-Raphaelite history, and this rather beautiful little, back street used to be known as Hell Passage, and it is where tightly packed tenements were, and one of the people who lived in these was somebody called Jane Burden, who became, as you can hopefully see from this plaque, a muse for Rossetti and many others, and I've actually shown you her in the shown you some drawings of her modelling for the Pre-Raphaelites. And she was born here on this spot in Oxford, and then became Mrs. William Morris. So it's really nice to see the Pre-Raphaelites in what many would consider one of their home turfs in Oxford. They have so many works on show in this city. Just before she has to shoot off, PJ, what did you think about the exhibition?
Well, Judge, I enjoyed it very much, and I especially loved seeing Jane Burden, or Jane Morris as she became known, in the museum, in the flesh, as it were, the originals there. It was also great, although I wish I'd have seen a bit more, to see some of the more the female Pre-Raphaelite artists as well, and not just those kind of almost supermodels or stunners, as Rossetti referred to them, as we saw in the exhibition today. So I'm quite interested to find out a little bit more about who else in a female way was a Pre-Raphaelite artist, but great to see the ones that were there.
Thank you very much, PJ. Yes, thank you for those thoughts, PJ. I'm just now returning home on the train from a lovely day out in Oxford, and have had time to ruminate on the exhibition. The first thing I'd say is most of these works come from the Ashmolean Museum collection. They have a world-class collection of Pre-Raphaelite drawings and watercolours. That's not a criticism at all. In these sort of post-COVID or in still per-COVID times, you have to mind the resources that you have. This show was shut down in 2021 lockdown, and I think it's great that the people who were disappointed then can now have a chance to go and see it. He's absolutely excellent in that sense. I would say, however, I left the show slightly dissatisfied. The reason was I felt the curation threw together over 100 works in so many disparate themes, like Rossetti's Stunners, for example, nature. There was showing how the Pre-Raphaelites created their masterpieces, that it seemed a bit disparate to me, a bit disjointed as a show. And on the art vlog, we're not so much art critics as reviewing the show itself. Having said that, there were some ravishing paintings within the exhibition which I enjoyed seeing, and I particularly enjoyed that the room which did show how some of these masterpieces were created. But as a whole, the show did not hang for me in the way that I love a good show to do. What I would say is, if you're in Oxford, it's really worth coming to the show alongside trying to visit some of the sites where Pre-Raphaelite masterpieces are held in the city, like the Oxford Union. I don't know how easy it is to get in there these days, and see the library, certainly Keble College, as well as room 66 in the Ashmolean itself, which has a decent selection of the big works, because this is absolutely not a blockbuster exhibition. This is, as the title says, about the smaller Pre-Raphaelite works. So I enjoyed it to a certain extent, but also found it a bit frustrating in the sense it hopped about so many different themes, and I think it could have been done with being a bit tighter. This show is on until late November. £13.50 to get in, £15 with a booking fee. So if you're in Oxford and you want a immersion in Pre-Raphaelite work, then do come along, and do keep subscribing to the Art Vlog and hit that notification bell for upcoming reviews and previews of shows across London, the southeast of England and beyond.